Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to The Splash Live. I am Larry Nyland. A very happy Thursday to all of you in West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake Village. The Splash Live is Greater West Bloomfield's daily TV and radio streaming show. Watch us live Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV, and also watch us on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, and on Civic Center TV's Facebook app. And you can even listen to us live on 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash Live is part of Civic Center TV and Lakes FM's 90 minutes of live local programming. And right now, we're going to take a look at the weather. Looks like a cool start to the day, but it's going to be warming up nicely with mostly sunny skies and a high of about 82. Tonight, cooling to a fall-like 57 degrees. And then on Friday, it will be mostly sunny with, again, a high of around 82. Well, the West Bloomfield Lakers, they are on a roll, starting 2-0 to start the season, and they will be taking on the Cougars of Rochester Stony Creek in Game 3 this Friday evening. This will be the first official road game for the Lakers, and Coach Tyrese Grice joined our own Tyler Keefe to preview the matchup.
The previous years, we really don't start off our year that good, so it's really important to really make a statement as our defense being a really good defense.
You've gone up against a couple of excellent receiving corps this year, especially in week 2, going up against guys like Ramonte Howes and Jacob Oden, who's getting a lot of press statewide for his performance over the last few years. In terms of the early season jitters and getting those out of the way, and like you said, being more disciplined, how important are those first games in really preparing yourself for OAA red play, especially with as big of competition as you have this year?
It's really during practice, I feel like we prepared for our upcoming season because we have good receivers like Samads and Tay. So I feel like when every week as our secondary, we're prepared because we go against that every day in practice. So that really helps a lot too.
In terms of what you learned from those guys and what you've learned in the past from other really talented players, whether it be Donovan or Dylan or even guys that were maybe up a little bit in the ranks from you when you were playing JV ball, what do you learn from them in practice that helps you apply that to the game, especially when they have such an immense talent level like those guys have had?
I learned a lot of leadership because, like, once they're gone, the class of 2024 is going to have to step up. So that's really a big, what's the word to use? That's what they're really trying to teach us, like, just be a leader when we have to leave, when we leave. So, yeah, that's really it.
We're joined by Jameer Benjamin, West Bloomfield cornerback on This Week in Laker Football. This defensive back core, these cornerbacks, really 3 deep in the starting level. And guys coming up the depth chart, too, so far. These first couple weeks have been joining you guys in the ranks and playing really good football. Can you speak to how those guys down the depth charts, those sophomores, those upcoming juniors this year, and what they have added to this defense?
Add a lot of depth. They're going to learn off me, Lorenzo, and Bryce. And, you know, when Lorenzo leaves, it's me and Bryce we're going to be starting. So we're just teaching them the way to do it. The way to do it is how to just be a shutdown corner.
Talk about the coaching staff, too, because you've been with Coach Grice in his 2 years here as the head coach and even beforehand as the defensive coordinator. And talk about also your assistant coach and the impact that he has on this defensive backcourt and the way it's able to play such effective football against some of the best teams in the state.
Mm-hmm. So Coach Kason, he's our corner coach. He's an amazing coach. He teaches us just life skills. He's an awesome corner coach. He teaches us the X and O's. And I'm really glad that him and Coach Grice, because Coach Grice, he comes in with the corner sometimes too. So I'm just glad that we have both of them for our secondary.
Having seen such high-level football over the last few years, being able to participate in it at the highest level and also see some of that disappointment, particularly late last season against Rochester Adams in such a close game, how does that motivate you personally and also this defensive backcourt as you go into OAA red play this year?
That helps us because we just have to do our job so that doesn't happen again. We just got to shut down our side of the field so that we don't lose any close games like that because, hey, anything can happen. You got to be ready for anything to come down the last seconds of the fourth quarter, so we just got to be prepared. because we don't want that to happen again this year.
Jameer Benjamin is with us on This Week in Laker Football, West Bloomfield cornerback for the squad this year in their starting defensive backcourt. Jameer, for you personally, what are some of your goals this season in terms of what you like to improve in your game and take it to the next level?
I just really want to win a state championship. That's really my number one priority. Yeah, I have some personal goals, but like what's really on my mind is winning a state championship.
And Jameer, just a couple minutes with you before we'll take a break here on This Week in Laker Football. Outside of the game of football, what are some things that you really enjoy, whether you're hanging out with your friends or just your own personal hobbies off the gridiron?
I like to go swimming. I have a pool. I just got a new dog 2 days ago, so that's one of I like hanging out with my dog and going out with my friends and family.
That, of course, was Lakers DB Jameer Benjamin, who's having a fantastic season to start off the 2022-23 campaign. And we want to make sure that you all tune in for full television coverage this Friday on Civic Center TV and WBTV at 6:30 for Laker pregame, followed by the Lakers heading to Rochester Stony Creek to take on the Cougars live at 7 p.m. And if you can't be around the TV, just tune in to 89.3 Lakes FM for all the action. We're going to now look ahead at the Shul of West Bloomfield. On Wednesday, September 17th, the Shul of West Bloomfield is celebrating 20 years of operation with a very special Broadway-style evening. The event will be a musical evening with Brooklyn-based Hazan sommelier, mixologist, and vocal coach David Babinet. A classically trained musician, Babinet will perform a mix of opera, Israeli, Yiddish, cantorial, and Hasidic music, while pairing the sounds with carefully crafted themed custom cocktails inspired by the upcoming high holidays. On Rosh Hashanah in 2002, the leadership officially moved into the Shul in West Bloomfield. Tickets for this event are $36 in advance and $50 at the door. Get tickets online at theshul.net. That's THESHUL.net. And now looking ahead, we are only just 8 days away from the 11th annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. The event is the pregame party before the big West Bloomfield-Clarkston battle at the Swamp. Our own Calvin Brown created a great promo for Family Fun Night. Let's take a quick look at that.
Mark your calendars for the 11th annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/Family Fun Night.
Again, that's Friday, September 16th in the West Bloomfield High School parking lot. We will see you there. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to head out to Drake Sports Park and talk with our good friends from West Bloomfield Parks. That's next here on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Let's whoop it up for these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I am Larry Nyland. Well, one of the great senior gathering places in all of Metro Detroit is right here in West Bloomfield, and that is West Bloomfield Parks Connect. Joining us now is the membership manager from Connect, Sheila Nittman. Sheila, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Larry.
So Sheila, for those who are not familiar with Connect, can you tell us all about what you folks do there?
Sure. We recently, over the past 3 years, had a gathering space on Orchard Lake Road, and that space has closed. So we have now relocated to the Recreation Activity Center in the Civic Center complex off of Walnut Lake Road. And it's a gathering space for the senior members of our community to come and have a cup of coffee, congregate, gather, and visit with one another. Sometimes like a book club will join, maybe some ladies that want to play mahjong will sit at one of the tables in the lobby, and that is all included with your membership, which is $15 for an individual resident of West Bloomfield and $25 for a couple from one household.
So Sheila, can we step back for just a minute, and can you just talk a little bit
sorry.
about no, you're fine. What is your background, and how did you come to be a part of working with Connect?
Oh, that's an interesting story. I am a former teacher and event planner, and so taking teaching and event planning and mashing it up to help the seniors of our community just seemed like a real natural fit. So when this opportunity came about, I leapt at it actually because I really do love serving seniors. And then the membership manager, actually, I was a customer service representative and took care of some membership details. And as our membership grew, WB Parks very graciously offered me a membership manager position.
So Sheila, you mentioned that you did have a location at Orchard Lake Road, and I think for a time were you not at Abbott Middle School, but then they had to move back into the school. So where is the headquarters now for Connect?
Yes, we are definitely at the Recreation Activity Center for the time being, at least 6 months, I would say. So we have settled in, and we want everyone to know that that's where your senior staff is. All the customer service reps and our programmers, we're all at the Recreation Activity Center. Sometimes we work out of awesome parks like this one, Drake Sports Park. We have a stretch and tone class going on inside, and I can see pickleball, tennis, people enjoying our trails. I even have members of the parks crew behind me mowing lawns and fixing baseball fields or grooming, I should say. And a couple guys are on the skateboard ramps, which is pretty cool too. So it's fun to see programming indoor and outdoor all going on simultaneously.
Are they aware that you are doing a live TV interview right now? They're not going to start mowing right next to you, are they?
I did double check with your producer about the noise, and luckily they're way back in the fields now.
So you're at Drake Sports Park. So now when people have a membership, how do they find out about these events that are going on? Is it stuff that they can access online, or are they sent information about this? How does that work exactly?
Lots of different ways. First, yes, to your question of being online. Everything is at wbparks.org, and you can register for most of our programs and events online. But we also have a number that you can call where we have customer service reps happy to help you, whether over the phone or in person. And that number is 248-451-1900. You can even buy a membership to Connect over the phone with a credit card. We also produce beautiful guides that have all of the programming that we have that we're offering for. They come out 3 times a year, so it has about 4 months worth of programming and events in it, and it covers everything from families to senior citizens and everything in between. So this is going to be always your best bet. It arrives in your mailbox, but things, times and locations are subject to change. Of course, there can be weather that causes a problem, or so it always is good to check the website or call our number. And then if we make a change, we always do contact everybody on the roster to let them know of a location change or a time change. we try for that not to happen, but when you're planning things 6 months in advance, it can be a little tricky.
So we can tell it's still a beautiful September day there at Drake Sports Park, but it's going to start getting colder. What kind of specific like fall and winter activities do you have there at Connect?
I'm glad you asked. We actually have a really fun event for Connect members next Tuesday. It's called Coffee and Kuchen, or Cafe. It's German for coffee and cake, and it's a tradition where friends gather in the afternoon around 2 o'clock, and that is when you have your little something sweet with your afternoon latte. So I won't be offering lattes, but we will have coffee, tea, water, and lots of fun cake. And the idea is to get our seniors, especially our Connect members, together to ask them what do they want from their senior center. It was a huge loss for us when we lost our space on Orchard Lake Road, and another disappointment when it didn't work out at Abbott. But this is an opportunity for us to really ask, what do you want? Of course, we want a big, beautiful space that can accommodate all of our senior programming under one roof like we used to have. And we're working on that diligently. And I am hopeful, and I'm very hopeful that that's going to happen, sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, we're at the RAC. We love being at the RAC. It's fun as colleagues to all be together, senior services and all parks and rec services under one roof for the most part. And it's just fun that we all get to collaborate and help each other with our programs. So we have the Cafe and Kuchen. We also have a harvest lunch. We have tailgate at Drake. We have lots of fun programming. Oh my gosh. And the restaurant ramblers, and we have DSO trips. Everything's in this guide. And, some things, veterans, we can't forget our Heroes event. If you're a veteran out there, remember to call and get your spot, because that sells out and we never can accommodate as many people that really want to be there. So I don't want anyone to miss out on that. But this has a comprehensive, it has comprehensive details, and then you can always call that number, 451-1900, and a CSR, a customer service rep, can help you if you have questions and more details are needed.
So Sheila, do you know the numbers? How many members are there in Connect right now? Do you know exactly? Or roughly?
Yes, I do. I just ran that report yesterday, Larry. So we have 372 members right now, which is actually a little bit lower. At one point, we were well above 400. There has been a little bit of decline due to people being still a little bit tentative about getting out there due to the pandemic. And other people, they're just, maybe they don't use the services. We do have some attrition just from people moving away, or deciding maybe that wasn't maybe it wasn't for them. Like I said, I think COVID has had a lot to do with it, but we're really proud of that 372. That's a pretty good number, considering that our goal at the whole beginning was like 250. So it just continues to grow. Members can come by and not just have this gathering space, but it also includes a lot of free drop-in activities. So that is a real benefit if you like to come and play ping pong, and you like to come for open game room. If you don't want to pay $2 every time for those activities, just join for $15, which includes a free lunch, and you get it free for the whole year coming into those drop-in activities. And we have a flyer about those drop-in activities at the Recreation Activity Center, and we can mail it to you. If you can't get to the RAC, we're happy to do that too.
All right, Sheila, if you could just remind us one more time the phone number and the website where people can come and check out Connect.
Absolutely. The number is 248-451-1900, and we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, to help you and book you in any programs you want and answer your questions. And wbparks.org is our website that will have up-to-date information regarding programming and events.
Sheila, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Come on out to Drake Sports Park, okay? I'll be here all day.
That is Sheila Nittman, live at Drake Sports Park, the membership manager for Connect with West Bloomfield Parks. When we come back, it's time to head to Keego Harbor to please your sweet tooth. We'll be talking with the founder of Dwaar Chocolate. That's next here on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I am Larry Nyland. Well, when our next guest was a young girl growing up in India, her father used to bring her Cadbury fruit and nut bars after he returned from trips to England. The love of that chocolate helped inspire her to open her own candy store, Dwaar Chocolate in Keego Harbor. Joining us now is Rajani Konkipudi. Rajani, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
How are you? Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing in India, where you first began your love of chocolate?
I was raised in a very traditional Indian family, where, Indian sweets are mostly sugar, ghee, lots of other, flour, things fried. But yeah, chocolate was always a special treat for us because it meant a little more indulgence. And that's how I started, eating and falling in love with chocolate, as any girl would do.
And could you talk about when you moved to the United States, what brought you over here?
So I got married, moved over here with my spouse, and have been living in Michigan for almost 30 years now, close to 30. And slowly I got acquainted with a lot of folks who are in the chocolate business. And through that, we went on a trip to Ecuador. And then, that was it. Once you go see how cocoa is grown, how you can actually make your own chocolate, that was very fascinating. And so there was no looking back after that.
So now, do you have formal training in making this chocolate, or did you just kind of figure it out on your own, or how did that process work exactly?
Initially, it was a 4-hour class that I took, and it was very fascinating. When I left the class, I looked at the grinder that was sitting there, and it is an old Indian spice grinder that we use. And I'm thinking in my head, I have that, and I can make chocolate, which is so cool. So of course I asked the gentleman if I could buy some cocoa nibs from him, and that's how it started. And I started experimenting. Slowly, at some point, I decided, okay, I think I need to put some formal training on my resume along the way. But by then, I had already experimented, made chocolate, and friends loved it. So I think about a year and a half into my chocolate journey, I decided to take a formal class.
And so you opened a store in Keego Harbor. Keego Harbor is a very eclectic area of businesses. You have such a wide array of stuff, like things you wouldn't surprise there. Like the first time I drove by and I saw that's Dwaar Chocolate, I said, I did not realize it was right there. So how did you settle on Keego Harbor as the location for Dwaar?
It's very close to where I live. I live in West Bloomfield. So at the time when I was looking for something, I was looking for, of course, location close enough. And then, of course, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego, everything is so intertwined. So I think this was the best fit.
So what is it about your chocolate that makes it unique from other types of chocolate?
Well, chocolate in general, we are so used to buying it at a grocery store, right? And we don't really understand the process behind what goes into making chocolate. So it's not only the process of making chocolate, but the fact that I can actually source cocoa beans from around the world, which means I get in touch with other people. I actually form a relationship with either the farmers. We either do direct trade or we do fair trade through importers. So you develop a rapport with your farmers and their lives. and also with the importers, And so over time, it becomes one big family, and you have a sense of fulfillment when you actually make that chocolate.
So now, when you travel to various countries and to try their cocoa beans, how can you tell what is a good bean, what is a bad bean, what is unique? How does that like on your palate? How does that taste?
It's so interesting because when you ferment the cocoa bean, it is so different, and that's why we have experts who actually are really good at understanding the fermentation process. Because by the time we get the beans, it's already dried, fermented, and dried. So for us, when we travel there, we have experts who help the farmers understand how fermentation works, and also they have a grading system. So they teach us, and it's funny because we learn more from the farmer and the grower at that point than what we do here on this end of production.
So, if I'm not mistaken, did Dwaar Chocolate open kind of in the middle of the COVID pandemic?
Yes.
And so
much.
Yeah, probably not the best time to open any kind of a business, especially a food business. So how was that beginning, and how are things going right now?
It was scary because we just opened, or we did our first show selling our first bar of chocolate in 2019 at a craft show downtown Detroit. And come 2022, we already signed a lease, and we're like, oh, we're going to do this. 2020 hit, and we closed shop. We didn't have any production going on at the time. And then comes the New York Times. They were doing an article, and that pretty much put our name out there for the country to notice. And at that time, we actually were very happy for that, and we got a lot of sales. So it wasn't for that, we would have not survived. Probably would have closed up shop. We are doing much better now. We have a retail space, as you can see in the back. People are beginning to notice that we exist. So we do get small foot traffic, but definitely more marketing and more awareness will be helpful.
Rajani, can you remind our viewers exactly where you're located, and also how they can find you online and via social media?
We are on Castlake Road in Keego Harbor, right across from Roosevelt Elementary School. And you can reach us. You can get our products online. It's www.dwaarchocolate.com. You're more than welcome to come into the store, check out the process. We always take you in the back room to show what we produce. If we have a grinder going, you can always get a sample of what we're grinding for the day. So you're more than welcome to stop in. Rajani, and we are open mostly Saturday and Sundays, so please stop by.
Yes, it's now that it's going to kind of be wrapping up ice cream season. It's time to start the candy season, so people could stop over at Dwaar Chocolate in Keego Harbor. Rajani, it was very great to meet you, and thank you so much, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That was Rajani Konkipudi, the owner of Dwaar Chocolate in Keego Harbor. Looks like that's all the time that we have for today. I am Larry Nunn, and we want to thank you for watching the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's very own TV, radio, and streaming show. Watch us live Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 10 a.m. at Civic Center TV and on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. We can also be seen on our Facebook app and even listen on 89.3 Lakes FM. West Bloomfield, we will see you tomorrow.